Welcome to the Club of Indecisiveness. Welcome to my world. If you're new here, my name is Laura and welcome to my channel. I just talk about stuff that comes into my mind as I try to make life better. And today we're going to talk about being indecisive. What is it to be indecisive? I like the city, I like the beach, I like the mountains. It's basically the state of not being able to make a decision or choice without hesitation. And you lack the confidence that you're making the right decision. And sometimes this can become debilitating. I like the city, I like the beach, I like the mountains. I mean, this is a real thing. But before I delve into it, there are actually some pros, not just cons of being indecisive. See, we are not stick in the mud, inflexible, never wavering type of people. No. I like the city, I like the beach, I like the mountains. Side note, I named the channel Laura Undecided because I couldn't think of a name. True story. Our culture wants people to be decisive, quick, and unwavering. Know your dinner order in under 3 minutes and stick to it. Don't change or you're going to upset somebody. Have you been there? I mean, seriously, what is the big deal? And it's always surrounding dinner, too. Really, so what if I place my order and then change it before it's prepared? Like, no harm, no foul. Did I mess up your meal? No. So if you're indecisive, I want you to know that you're probably also open-minded, interesting, thoughtful, collaborative, curious, easygoing, fun, communicative, analytical, flexible, creative, empathetic, patient, and reflective. So when I was creating this video, I decided to really research this more. Like, why are people indecisive and why is it harder for some people to make decisions than others? Well, it turns out it's not always our fault. I'm going to share 6 reasons why people tend to be indecisive. But stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to tell you ways that you can become quicker and better at making decisions. So let's get into it. Okay. Why are people indecisive? Number 1, they're overwhelmed with choice. When I lived abroad and you would go into the market, there might be 2 or 3 cereal choices. But here in the States, if you walk down the cereal aisle, there are 30 different choices. And when people are faced with numerous options, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. Number 2, fear of making the wrong choice. What if I do this? What happens if I do that? People don't want to be in a bad or uncomfortable situation, so they can't decide. 3, people might be perfectionists, or they overthink things, or they just analyze things excessively. And for people lacking self-confidence, this can be a problem. But the last 2 really stuck out to me. Number 5, people tend to be indecisive because of their emotional state. If you are under stress or you have a lot of anxiety, this makes decisions much more difficult. Your mood can impact your ability to make decisions. And finally, this last one really resonated. Decision fatigue. And decision fatigue happens when you're forced with making multiple decisions throughout the day, so that basically by the time it gets to be later on in the day, it's harder and harder to make a decision. Hence your dinner order. Seriously, it's basically rude of people to tell you that your indecisiveness is a problem, because what they really should be doing is offering you help. I don't think people really enjoy being indecisive. And so there are definitely some cons that come along with it. You can have increased stress, anxiety, missed opportunities, procrastination and frustration, and really just people's perception of you. They think you're flaky or weird or a mess or annoying. So how can we fix this? If you're faced with a difficult decision, number 1, you should take a break. Step away from the decision-making process for a short period. Go for a walk, practice deep breathing, or engage in some type of activity that will clear your mind. Another thing you can do to help is to list all of your options. Sometimes having a visual representation can help make the decision-making process more manageable. Number 3, another way to help making a decision easier is to limit the number of options that you're choosing between. Remember my cereal analogy? Having too many choices can be paralyzing. Next, establish a time frame for when you're going to gather this information for this decision. Like basically put a deadline in place to prevent prolonged indecision. And if those aren't helpful, just get really quiet. Not like taking an hour walk in the woods, but rather hole up for an entire weekend with no distractions. And lastly, just trust your instincts. Sometimes your gut feeling can actually provide valuable insight. So trust yourself, especially if the decision is aligning with your values and goals. And when it comes to that dinner order, just flip a coin. Recognize that the wrong choice is not the end of the world. And if it is, you can change it. Tell me, are you indecisive? Have people complained about you being indecisive? Tell me about it in the comments. And also, tell me what works for you. Do you have any tips to share? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.